I just passed a 200k True Forex Funds challenge, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down some of the trades that I took, my dashboard, my win rate, and some other stats, and basically how I really passed this challenge. Now currently I have $900,000 in funding. I did have 1 million, but I did lose a couple accounts, which is okay. I recently uploaded a video on YouTube explaining how I plan on making over $250,000 in prop firm payouts alone this year. I've actually done that in the last year and a half. I've made actually around $240,000 in prop firm payouts, but this year I plan on doing it alone just from January to December. So if you have not already watched that video, I break down my whole plan on how I'm going to be doing that. But right now in this video I'm going to be breaking down some of the trades, my stats, my dashboard, things like that, and I'm hoping by the time you're done this video you leave a bit more motivated and with a bit better of a game plan on how you can actually do the same thing. Now if you want to learn how to smash these challenges like I do and actually get these payouts, hit the link in the description below for tradinglp.com. We have over 115 funded students in the community. It's a simple, straightforward, no bullshit approach to getting funded and a strategy that works. Now, let's hop into my computer. We're going to go into the dashboard, break down some trades, and kind of see what really happened with this challenge and how I actually passed. All right, we are in my computer, and this was basically the 200K that I took on January the 18th. Starting the year, I'm trying to add more capital to sort of my arsenal right now, sitting at around $900,000 in funding. Was just over $1 million, but did lose a few accounts, which happens, no big issue. But yeah, this was the account passed in 10 days. So I started on January the 18th, finished on January the 27th. That's the equity graph right there, looking really healthy. I did start off in a little bit of drawdown right there, as you can see, but then after that it was just clear as day, and I didn't take that many trades. Like, I just took what a good setup was, right? When you know how your strategy works and you're extremely confident with it and you know what an A+ setup looks like, these challenges aren't like, they're still difficult, but they're not extremely difficult because you know which trade to take and when not to take a trade, right? If I have the urge to take a trade, I'll just place it on my personal. I won't take it on the challenge. I'll only take an A+ setup on my challenge account. And this is what I emphasize in like my program and the people that, like, you know, we trade with. I always tell them, like, take your A+ setups on these challenges on phase 1, phase 2, all that stuff, so it's easier to sort of push your way into passing these. So yeah, this was the account right here, and yeah, I risked anywhere between I even risked 3% one day, I believe. And I was just going for 2 Rs, took 7 trades, 71% win rate. So I had a really high win rate because I was taking A+ setups, really good setups. I waited all week pretty much just to take that 1 to 2 trades, and I'll show you guys that one big trade that pushed me through. Average RR was 1.39 R, and yes, that's true because I do take profit really quickly, especially when it's on a challenge. I'm doing higher risk, but I'm also taking a higher probability trade. And one thing people don't understand is that phase 1 is different than phase 2 is different than live. So how I trade phase 1 of the challenge is different than how I trade phase 2 and how I trade the live account. And that's something I actually teach in the Trading LP program. Now, I typically teach to risk 1%, but sometimes it's okay if you want to go a little bit aggressive on phase 1. But phase 2 should always be different. People forget that they have the 60 days. They get really excited and they always blow phase 2. In the live account, people try to think that they should be making 10% every month, which is really not realistic, and it's not a good goal to be trying to achieve. And then they lose the account after getting 1 withdrawal or getting 0 withdrawals, which kind of sucks. But I kind of already know the pitfalls, so I know how to navigate my way through this stuff. So that's why I kind of came up with a target of trying to make $250,000 by the end of the year from prop firm payouts. I've already done it before with one half of 2021 and in 2022 I made roughly around 240k prop firm payouts. Did a lot of profit split videos, but yeah, this is kind of like my dashboard. Everybody knows that I'm really good, or I'm really more keen on, I'm more into like selling than I am into buying. Just when my eye catches better. And as you can see on this sort of graph here, actually True Forex Funds has a really good dashboard. I'll compliment them on that. But yeah, as you guys can see here on the dashboard, there's really 3 pairs that I traded. And as you can see, the majority of the money came from one trade, really one pair, and it was USD CAD. And I'll show you guys a trade that I took on USD CAD. And this is all about knowing, you know, when a good setup presents itself and when you should be really going aggressive on a challenge. And yeah, and how to actually pass it, right? Like, you need to, like, if you're not good at your strategy and you don't think you're good at trading and you're still experimenting, don't take these challenges. Just don't. Wait until you know what you're doing. Wait until you've learned a new strategy, learned a system, and then take it. So for me, it's an A+ setup. An A+ setup, we have 4 confluences. It's all written down in a PDF. And it's extremely easy to follow. So if you want to learn how to do that, again, hop on to tradinglp.com. But this was the trade that I took. It was on USD CAD. I'm actually in a USD CAD sell right now, but it was this trade on January the 26th right here. And basically my thought process on this was, so I trade supply and demand with price action, my own price action entries. And at this point, my thought process was that a lot of people are buying, and I was using the Forex sentiment tool to gauge that. I felt like there was a lot of buyers in the market and a lot of liquidity sitting below this area right here. So I was just looking for a sort of supply area that we could draw up and then take a sell on. So I drew this on the lower time frames. At this point of time in the market, I wasn't really on the charts, but at this time I was. So this is what we call a 3-pin pattern. And on the break of this candle, I entered and I took some risk around this area here and then left a runner for this area. But this basically covered majority of my challenge right here. And it was a pretty straightforward trade. Knew where liquidity was, knew that most people in the market were buying. I was looking for a sell, doing the opposite of what most people are doing. Got a really good supply zone and a perfect price action entry on the break of that candle. Entered and boom, the challenge was done, finished. That's basically what happened with this 200k challenge that I just passed, adding onto my list of funding, almost sitting with actually a few other challenges that I've got going on. I'll have $1.2 million in funding shortly. So hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and yeah, follow me on Instagram and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see further videos like this. I'm going to be doing some more strategy videos to actually show you guys some price action, some supply and demand, things like that. But if you actually want to learn in depth, head over to tradinglp.com.